All right, welcome to our Rookie of the Year top 8 Megadraft. We'll get into the format momentarily. I'm here tonight with Dan A., who was the recent finalist
Hey, hey.
from the Bloomborough League. And how's it going?
Oh, it's good. I got to do this yesterday.
All right,
And it
tonight,
was exhausting.
tonight we're going to be following Keelan, who is going to be drafting this cube that was curated by Jordan M., and it's based on the sets that we played in leagues this year. So heavy focus on the standard legal sets with some cards from bonus sheets, MH3, and cons. But as you can
Hmm.
see from this pack, mostly cards from the main sets. But looks like Keelan might be going towards a bonus sheet card right off the bat here with a Utopia Sprawl.
Yeah, Utopia Sprawl's pretty safe, not super powerful, but being able to get mana consistently early is like good. I think Schooner's like pretty strong, honestly.
Yeah, I remember Schooner just running away with games if you got it out early. That
Well,
was a really strong one. So so Keelan is actually he was in the Mega Draft just 2 days ago, and he's only played in one league. So he's played in more Mega Drafts than he has leagues. That's how good he did.
oh, was he also in the Megadraft? For the
Yeah,
main league.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
So he
cool.
was the Rookie of the Year for Bloomborough. It was his first league. He ended up finishing fourth overall, and now he's back for the Rookie of the Year Mega Draft, trying to get into Player of the Year. That's the prize. There's only one spot left in Player of the Year, and it goes to the winner tonight.
Looks like he's
And
opting to go for Delney here, which is a card I've never really been that impressed by.
yeah, it's a card that it seems like whenever I took it, I could never do anything, and whenever my opponent played it, they would instantly win the game, more or less. So it's
What
like,
card would you take in this position?
I mean, that's a good card. It's something to build around. The Threadbind Click was like probably the best like generic card.
Hmm.
So it looks
I
like
got the champions pickup.
yeah, I mean goes good with the Utopia Sprawl. I mean
Yeah,
later game once the Utopia Sprawl's ramped you, sack it and beat something up with a 4/4. But yeah,
yeah, it looks to be individually like the strongest card in the deck. Maybe if I wanted flexibility, I would go Evo Wilds. But something I learned yesterday is that like two colors is usually just where you want to be.
yeah,
So I don't know how much of that.
yeah, I can understand that. So just a little bit about more about it's the cube. So it's a cube, but
Hmm.
it's been set up so that the packs are rarity balanced. So there's one rare, three uncommons, and I guess 10 or 11 commons in every pack. So it's a cube. There's only one of every card, but it's also rarity balanced. So they look like normal booster packs rather than like half rare.
Black coming around.
Yeah, I mean, Rictus Robber was a nice card. I mean, this like all these uncommons are going to be like quite good cards. Like none of these uncommons can really be blanks. And most of the commons again are going to be cards that are good. Like we look at this pack, like they're all cards that were, rather playable in their sets.
I would think if you're specking on this Delny, the Dawn Runner has to be good, right?
I mean, yeah, you get to trigger that twice, but also has an eye on a Cactorantula here. Maybe figuring I'm going to pick up some deserts. And this was a question I asked in the Mega Draft the other day. Was just how good is Cactorantula if it's always 6 mana, rather than sometimes you get the discount, but going to not reliably be able to get deserts. And here's Make Your Own Luck. That was a
Oh,
fun one.
two of the same, huh?
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure it was supposed to be that way. I thought it was supposed to could be a slight error. I don't know, but hopefully it was just a one-off weird thing here that we get two of the same card. I
Another
know.
strong black card here in Eliminator, no?
I always felt underwhelmed by Undercity Eliminator. It's like 5 mana, 3/3, double black, have to sack something. Feels like one of the worst versions of these effects we've ever seen. But I mean,
Yeah.
still an okay card. And now we're seeing a Rictus Robber again, so maybe there is something in here that is creating multiple copies of the same card.
So he knows he wants to be a green, at least at this pack six or pick
Well,
six and pack.
Well, he was the only player in the Bloomberg Megadraft to not draft green. So he says today's the day. Today I'm going to take everybody. Everybody else took green the other day. I want it today. Yeah. So I don't know if there's discussion going on about maybe the packs not being exactly as we were intending them to be for it being a cube and all. But either way,
As in, there's not one-ups of everything. Understood.
yeah. So the Rictus Robber it has the most solid baseline. I think he was looking at the Garrick's Uprising there, just as like a strong card if you can make it work. But the Rictus Robber just is more generically good. All right.
Not black in this pack, which means
I mean, the Cactus Folk was pretty strong.
oh, I think Cactus is like definitely the strongest card in this pack. I mean, maybe Edgewall pack.
Yeah, Edgewall Pack was good. Even I'd say uh, the Phantom Interference was a good card too. Not up to those other cards, but I mean, if he's looking to be green, none of these cards move the needle that much. I'm looking at the land here, but you might have
Yeah,
his eye
I
on something
mean,
else.
it's free. You know, like you're always going to be over playables. So being able to pick up a utility land, it's also like a really strong effect to be able to like turn a land into a spell.
Yeah, so we are drafting 5 packs rather than six that we usually get from the Mega Draft. I think it was just that's how many cards ended up making it into this cube.
Huh.
So that we had 5 packs. They're still playing 60 card decks, so they still gotta get up to 30 35 ish playables non lands.
Dang, that really wants me to like overvalue two drops then, because I know one of the strongest ways to get ahead in these kind of like formats is to like just make sure your early game's consistent.
Yep, just 2 drops, and I mean this voracious varmint is a rock solid 2 drop. Like
Yeah, I love this two drop.
just always going to be good, very relevant in the late game as well. So nice pickup here. Yeah, I mean one thing that we see across a lot of mega drafts winning decks is just a whole slew of 2 drops. Just basically put enough 2 drops that you always have something to do on turn two, and it's hard to go wrong or fall behind if you always have something to do on turn two, even if it's just a 2/2 with some minor upside.
Yeah, another two cost spell, not necessarily a two drop. Savage
Yeah,
Punch, not necessarily being the strongest, but you know, removal's removal.
yeah. Savage Punch. This again is a card that is very clearly from 10 years ago. I mean, look, I love Con just as much as anyone, but hasn't aged well. But when you do get the +2/+2, it is, as the name suggests, savage. If you're getting +2/+2 in fighting, that is brutal. But if you
Yeah,
don't
those
have the
are like
ferocious 2 mana for a fight, is not up to par.
got like a couple of ferocious creatures. Just might have to come online a bit later.
Yeah, if he ends up in a Gruul build, might have more of those than in other builds. So it has a couple good options here for both the Sunshot Militia and the Shout of the Oath. I think are fine.
Yeah, I definitely like militias there,
So that was
especially like in the sure shot.
that was the Uprising he had his eye on earlier. I mean, he'll have to get a few more big creatures to go with that, but can be absolutely game breaking to just give everything trample and have a steady flow of cards coming.
Right, it does. I always forget about the trample on that.
Yeah. So
Ooh, that's a very nice card.
so rare here is a spellbook vendor. That was a very strong one. I believe
Also
you,
goes with Baldi. That's very funny.
I believe you just get a sorcerer token every turn for 1 mana,
Yeah,
and you could put it on any creature. Yeah, that card is very
I mean,
strong.
it's just and like over the course of these sets, like green white has proven to be like very strong. I remember like the last couple sets.
Yep, green white. Yeah, I mean OTJ green white was great. Bloomborough was good too, but Bloomborough is actually not a part of this set. I guess.
Oh,
I mean, it was a part of our season, but it seems that it was left out of this set for whatever reason. But Spellbook Vendor, I guess, would go well with the Delny, as long as you're not putting
that's
rolls on itself. You just get to put a bunch on other stuff. And now we get a couple of good options for green white in Cloud Guard or a throw from the saddle.
Oh, I love throw.
Yeah, throw from the saddle, still good even if you don't have a mount. So far, no mounts to be
They're
seen,
just
but
really, really efficient.
yeah, yep, 2 mana, just punch something. You may take
And
the
it like
land
gives you
here.
+1/+1 no matter what, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
it's +1/+1 until end of turn, but it gets a counter if it's a
That's so
mount.
good.
Looks like
I mean,
he's favoring this land here, just staying flexible, being able to maybe. Okay, no, back to the throw from the saddle.
yeah, I think throws are just like powerful enough.
Yeah, so another thing we can mention is that I believe that I think two or
Oh,
three of the players
yeah.
tonight are already qualified for Player of the Year. So if they win, their spot will go to, I believe, Jack is the next in line.
Hmm.
So Jack does have a vested interest in the outcome uh, of this draft, likely rooting for those couple of players that are in. I think Ryan M. and Thomas C. are for sure in. I don't know if any of the others are qualified. Now looking at the options here, I mean, who am
My
I to
vote's no.
turn down a creature that draws a card with the
Yeah,
novice inspector?
yeah, I think novice is great. I mean, like, I don't know if we're ever running Delny, but like, it is working with the package he's got going.
I mean, I think that with the start that he has so far, he's interested.
Yeah, he's like mousing over that champion, realizing that he needs like some sort of fodder if he wants to be able to make that
Oh
card.
yeah, well he has
Trump.
novice. He has the cartographer's companion if he decides to run that. He has the dig through time. Every time I see a comms card, I'm like
Getting
ooh,
through time.
like
Goodness.
ooh, I like it. But I don't think he's in a position to take that card here.
Yeah. I might just spec on pick your poison. It's very like flexible as a sideboard card. Alternatively, Guide Wings just like pretty solid for a 1 drop.
Yeah, Guidewing could be the pick. If he's still looking to be red, Cut In was a pretty nice removal spell. Not
Yeah,
nothing
it's
special,
great
but
actually.
pretty
Yeah.
nice. But okay,
Looks like he agrees. Oh,
yeah. So deciding here between Guidewing and Cut In, I think.
still very early. I mean, so like you don't have to necessarily like commit to white or red at this point.
I mean, Gingerbread Hunter just stands out
Ooh,
as just a extremely strong card. I mean, obviously optimal if you can get that black mana
dang.
effect.
Yeah, I don't know which because Glintweaver's also like a house,
That was the one that like distributes 3 counters.
and then like gives you health. I think for the greatest toughness.
Yeah, wow, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily what like his deck is going for currently, but it's as far as stabilizing, it's
I
one of
mean,
the best.
I feel like it'll be easy enough for him to be able to have a couple of free black sources if he devote. I mean, he already has Utopia Sprawl, which can name black, and he
Yeah,
can.
100 massive.
Yeah, that card's just so solid.
And like worst case, you're playing a 5 mana 5/5 that makes food, which is also nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, that's still great. Well, I like this 2 drop here. It's it's another Delny best friend here, the Iron Paw Aspirant.
I mean, yeah,
It's coming
it's
together.
fun builder rounds go.
I mean, also it's just a very good 2 drop.
Yeah, no, I
Like
mean
on
2 mana, 2/3s, very good.
Yeah, and I mean basically, if you're in a good position, one of those, one half of the power can effectively have haste if you put it on a creature that can attack. Uh,
Alternatively, Night Watch maybe.
I can't see where you would want to take Night Watch over the Aspirin. It's just if he wants it to potentially branch into other colors, and he did at the very last moment take the back for seconds here, maybe specking on some black cards, just keeping his options open. Um, you know, we are drafting 5 packs, so a little less time than your normal Mega Draft, which is usually six packs, sometimes more. But I would say by the beginning of the next pack, he should be cementing in what he wants to do, and it looks like he might be leaning towards the black cards here,
Huh.
or not.
Yeah.
He
No,
clicked
I
on the
want. I
Death
want.
Knight Marionette, but the Iron Paw Aspirant again, just so solid.
Yes, I want to keep it low to the ground like we're doing.
Huh. Like the
Uh,
Beanstalk is good, but I also see this land that actually the Sandstep Citadel actually does everything because it makes both green
white,
and
black,
white
and green.
and black as on
Yeah,
top of it.
I mean, if we're looking for that black splash, yeah, this enables it perfectly.
Yeah, up the
Yeah.
Beanstalk, nice, but I don't think it's essential.
I mean, he's got three spells that can trigger Beanstalk.
He has make your own luck too if he's planning on running that, but
No, come on,
okay.
take the land. Ah, I want the
So
land.
you got the Beanstalk here. So now he's so both these Colossodactyls have wheeled back to him.
Yeah, that's we had 7 blue players last night,
Green players,
or
yeah.
green players, and
Yeah.
now it looks like I guess none besides.
Well, maybe they just didn't value this Colossodactyl. I mean, this guy's
This
just
is
stats.
huge.
This is good stats. Like I had this in Bloomborough League, and the creatures are small in Bloomborough.
Yes.
Creatures are smaller in Bloomborough than basically any set I can remember. And just playing that on turn 4 was just like he was
How
the
do I
king.
do
He was the king of the
it?
board in
And not
Bloomborough.
many things got like 5 damage either. Yeah.
Yeah, that was ooh, I like the Nervous Gardener.
Gardner here.
That's a solid one.
Gardner's great. Also, like another easy way to fix.
Yep, and just the disguise for just one green is so nice. Like any time I attacked and my opponent just flipped up a Nervous Gardener and traded with my creatures, just felt like I'm
Yeah, it
so
does
far
it feel
behind.
good.
Even though it's like they just got a basic land, it's not the end of the world, but it feels like you're behind. Gravestone
Especially if it's,
Strider, I mean it fixes, but it's nothing special.
yeah, Strider's probably not gonna make it, but I think I still want the Varmint.
Yeah, I think I like the 2-drop creature a little bit better than the Return Triumphant.
The up
But
sport that.
right, nothing much here for him, or really for anyone. So I know that Jordan did seed in some synergies, but a lot of these cards are just strong on their own. Like most of these, at least like looking at the uncommons, a lot of them just work on their own without having to need synergy.
And I guess he's like curated a lot of the useless cards out, like very
Yeah,
narrow range and stuff like that.
yeah, particularly that, and probably like the most busted rares too. He probably just decided to leave out just because it's not fun. So probably like the top 10% of like powerful rares. Probably we won't
Ooh.
see.
Well, there's another gingerbread header, but there's also Song of Totems, which, if he's going for like small splashing, is pretty nice way of closing a game
I,
out.
I still like another gingerbread hunter. I'd be hoping to
Yes.
wheel the topiary panther there.
Yeah,
Maybe
green has proven itself
thinking
to be
about
pretty open.
yeah. Maybe everybody watched the Megadraft from Bloomberg and was like, everybody went green. Man, I ain't gonna fall into that trap.
Maybe he could be greedy enough to like try and wheel the hunter if he thinks green's that open.
I feel like somebody's gonna snap that up. That card's
Yeah.
just too good to pass up on. Like even if you're black and you just pay 3 mana for -2/-2 make a food, and maybe you have a green source to just get a free 5/5 later on.
Yeah.
Like you still run it. So
Whoever the
also
red player is pretty happy to see the song.
the red player is going to be happy to see a lot of stuff in this pack. Torch the
Yeah,
Tower is
also the
great.
torch.
Picnic Ruiner is a strong one too. Well,
Well,
okay. Like I said,
uh,
I think it wasn't. I don't know if it was intended for it to have multiple cards, but
I
I
mean,
mean, it's very tempting to just take another Gingerbread Hunter here and just like
yeah.
sew up your 5-drop slot and be like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to take 5 drops for the rest of the draft.
Oh man, like that's what I really liked about theirs. There was a 6 mana like the Balluna's Grandmaster, the thing that had like the bounce spell on the front. Like being able to have a creature that's like both interaction and a threat later in the game is very powerful.
Yeah, the Balluna's Gatekeeper.
Yeah,
I mean, like, look, like he could just take that and just be like, okay, I don't really have to take 5 drops now for the rest of the draft.
yeah. I mean,
But he will need to get those black sources online. 'Cause he,
With two more packs, he can pretty
he does
confident.
he does have a white black land that he got late in pack one, so he does actually have something, and it looks like he is making a pick towards
Okay.
the
We'll
fixing
see
here.
experiments see the wheels or not. That's a strong card.
So he did
Repulsive
take
Mutation.
the opulent palace, which fixes him.
Thing. A lot of good options here. Hardy in question also very efficient.
I mean, repulsive mutation is like the flashy card because that card was just such a house and like just such a beating. But a little worse, I would say, on the splash. And like Hardy in
Yeah.
question is just a perfectly functional, good removal spell.
I mean, one mana. You can't underestimate the significance of one mana removal spells.
Yeah, but I think he says repulsive mutation is super powerful, so maybe I should grab that.
Huh. He's eyeing the Lonely Arroyo, but I don't think I've seen anything besides the well, I guess the repulsive mutation he wants to splash for. Ooh, and Flourishing Moon can throw from the saddle here.
Yeah, he has that make your own luck that maybe he might want to throw in too. I know we saw our feature drafter from the Bloombo draft basically splash two different colors in his deck, so maybe he's taking some inspiration from that here. But yeah, throw from the saddle looks pretty good to me. I mean, the
Yeah.
Bloomkin also was quite strong. It doesn't fix you unless you have
Yeah.
non
No.
basics with the forest subtype, but it's still real good.
Yeah, it is real good. It is definitely going to be less strong in this deck. Oh, but he looks like he's opting for the flyer here, which is also a very strong card.
Yeah, I feel like that's a card that may have like dipped in its strength outside of its own set.
Yeah,
Like in LCI, it was like the bomb. It was just like one of the best commons. But
also
like on it,
providing.
like taking it out of that and just dropping it in with other cards, I think it's
Doesn't
just
hold up as
fine.
much. Looks like he gets another removal spell to make up for it, though, in Glass Casket.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Hopeful Vigil also works well with his the 5 drop that he needs
Yeah,
to bargain with.
the
Yeah,
bargain tool.
champion. Yeah, it's also just really solid. Being able to like turn a 2 drop into a scry late in the game is pretty nice.
And he almost agreed with that, but took the glass casket. I see a
Hard to.
land here. I see a land. I take a land.
I see a perfect land for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to give up on this Cactus Sure Shot at this point.
Yeah, I think green white is looking to be the path, and get some black sources in for the gingerbread hunter. And looks like he
Yeah.
wants to mess around with blue, though. Perhaps we'll see if that pans out.
Ooh, that's a fun free land. It's gonna be really hard to cast, but
Yeah, so we had a bit. So the reason why he's flipping back here is because I believe there's a bit of an error on Draftmancer with viewing the backsides of cards. So he just wanted to make sure he knew everything
gotcha.
that card did. But yeah, another like on the job, another card that was great in MKM. Don't know how good it would be
Hold
in
up,
this
yeah.
format. It just doesn't see. It just the way that the format was set up. It just was super strong.
When you have like armies of tutus facing each other down, like the +1 health is like very relevant. Not sure if it
Yeah,
holds
and
up.
just like dog walker, flip dog walker next
Yeah.
turn on the job, just like win the game.
Nothing too exciting here. I might take this spider food just for sideboard tech.
Yeah, I'm not against the Drover Grizzly. Also, I find that card to be a lot more useful than you would think upon reading it. Like giving everything trample in a board style is nice. He went for the crowd control warden here, and I
Hmm.
did point out that Topiary Panther was a card he could probably wheel.
And there it is.
But he's now looking at this land as a way to uh, be able to play Cactus Sure Shot and cast the Gingerbread Hunter Adventure. But
I mean, surely
that's
Panther allows you to do it as well. Oh, boy, there's
well,
Panther again. But there's also, I mean, Insight Source, which also goes well with Delny and is just a really solid 3 drop.
yeah. I mean, the Cactus Rogue Sure Shot doesn't stand out to me as a card I'm looking to bend over backwards to get in my
Yeah,
deck.
And
But
I didn't see too much other red that they want to enable there in their list so far.
yeah, but he does have a lot of land so far, so he can now make picks. Uh, he doesn't have to take as many lands now because he's taken quite a few. So the scavenger here was a pretty nice one.
I mean, yeah, I like 3 mana potential Gravediggers. And it looks like you were right. The Ginger Red Hunter sadly did not wheel, but
Yeah, I think
Archer.
that card's a little too strong for it to wheel. I think maybe you can get away with getting it pick 4 or 5 or something, but
Mhm.
not 10. All right, looking at the land here, but that's not really. If you're splashing black, you don't really want to be playing that
Barman
hidden
would
wheel.
Barman trigger twice from Delny? No.
No, it's a triggered ability. It Delmy doubles triggered abilities rather than activated.
I like Crocodile. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's kind of big. I think he took the return triumphant instead.
Yeah, take the turn. 2 packs left.
Yeah, so we're a bit more than halfway through, and he looks to be green white base, and he has his toes dipped in all of the colors basically here.
Mm-hmm.
He has a red card, he has a couple
Ooh,
blue cards, and he has a couple black adventures.
a lot of strong options here. If he's looking to go into the blue splash of the Gadgeteer, I don't really remember what this one does. Oh, it doesn't do anything unless you're like enabling artifacts.
Yeah, it has to do with clues. I mean, I'm looking at trained Arinx or mystical
Yeah,
tracker here.
yeah. I
The
mean those.
Like OTJ, I'm just looking like all these sets are popping up, and I'm just looking at like every pack, and like the OTJ cards look better than the other cards.
Yeah, it's giving me some prep for the Roto draft for Pokemon for the year.
Yeah, OTJ seems in a vacuum a bit better than some of the other sets.
Uh,
And trained Arinx, I mean, what more could you ask for from a 2 drop? This card
I mean,
is
it's great. He's also got like the mounts relevant text.
it's so solid. I see a dog walker there. That could be of interest.
I do like dog walking.
There's Iron Paw Aspirin as well. Not really that enamored with anything else, but it seems he likes the cactus
Cave is
rogue,
pretty
so
good
he
for
may want to
example,
grab a second one.
depending on how much he wants to splash.
Yeah, I do think Get Lost is a bit of a trap in limited.
Yeah,
I
no,
think in constructed, like you just get to kill something and you don't care about the maps. But in limited, where every little interaction and resource matters, giving opponent what 2 maps? Yeah,
it's a lot. I've never been a fan of these fans of these effects, especially not in a format like Megadraft.
yeah.
But
But
each his.
he did take it. He identified maybe he's a bit light on removal. Let me grab that. I mean, it does kill anything at a big cost, obviously. Mardu Horde Chief. Every time I see a cons card, I'm like, ooh.
It's like one of the best cons cards.
It was, I think it was like just straight up best common in the set, though.
It looks really good here too. Like
Yeah, it's strong.
I mean, especially if he wants to run stuff like
It
Warden.
works with Delmy. Works with Delmy.
Yeah, yeah. And like again, this phrase is like it's nice if you're able to cast it, but the 3 green is like really rough.
I think this is one of the least ever cast of that entire cycle. Like
Yeah, yeah.
all of those flip lines from MH3. I think that was probably the one I put on the stack the fewest times, just
And,
because
it is, and
it's so situational and difficult to cast and 6 mana.
it's not like he has like things he really wants to be sacrificing in this deck.
No, not really. I mean, this.
Maybe like I don't know.
Oh, I see Treasure Cruise, but he sees the Greenbelt Radical, which when you flip that up, it gives what everything gets a +1/+1 counter and trample.
Very strong.
Yeah, that thing was really really good.
I mean, Woodstock Frenzy is very strong. I don't know if he's going for the red anymore, but
Yeah,
as far as like cheap removal spells go,
it's splashable. I don't love splashing for removal, but I do it
yeah,
if I identify a need, and I think he's a bit light on removal. I'll say so.
yeah, he's had a couple of chances to pick up. Like there was a chance to pick another throw from the side. There was a chance to pick up the glass caskets.
Yeah, so
Oh
he
wait, no,
has
he
the Glass
doesn't.
Casket, he has the Get Lost, he has the Savage Punch, he has the Agatha's Champion as well. I
Hmm.
think that's it for removals, so he could use a
I mean,
couple
here's
more if he
the.
can find. Surprised to see this Vadmir here. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I
late.
feel like committing crimes is a very universal thing. Like just like you play the game of Magic, you target your opponent's stuff while you play. Like
And it's a two
it's
drop.
not like it's not an OTJ specific mechanic, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just you play the game naturally, it happens. Wow.
Two tide.
Seems like black is an open color, but he might just grab another Witch Stalker Frenzy here, though. With every
Yeah.
non-green and white card he takes, his mana gets a little bit worse, even though he does have quite a few lands. So,
Well, it looks like
uh,
green's like yeah, not. It used to be plentiful, but I've been seeing it drying up in the last couple of packs.
yeah, see, here I'm just taking a Varmint because I don't, I want more two drops.
Yeah,
Like, I want, like, in a
and like
60 card
Varmint's
deck, I
good
think
with
I want almost close to 10 cards, like, that I could play on turn one or two.
especially with like aspirant or like other ways of giving it counters. Like
Yeah.
the two mana vigilance creatures. It's a really good way of like keeping pressure on while also giving you the flexibility with the destroyed tech.
Yeah, and I think he's come to that, perhaps perhaps come to that conclusion. He clicked on shock for a moment, but that would have been shocking.
Like I don't think Varmint's like impressive in its set, but I think it just goes to show like how strong OTJ is. That I think it's like probably better than any of the two drops I remember in Bloom Barrow, other than like Carrot Cake.
I think Varmint was actually a standout because there was like five O-rings in the set. If like
Yes.
with all the bonus sheets, there was like two in the main set, one at common, one at uncommon, and then there was like three or four in the bonus sheet. So the Varmint was just gnawing away on all those removals. And this Dogwalker comes back around. I mean,
Yeah.
like if you just look at it very briefly, it looks like a Boros card, but really it's not. Really, it's could be mono white or mono red.
Yeah. Very strong, especially with stuff like Greenbelt Radical, Warden.
Wow, those cards were all in the same set. It's good set design, perhaps. I mean, Offender at Large. I mean, if he's splashing red, I don't mind just throwing an Offender at Large in my deck that I can play face
Yeah,
down and then
I
later
think
flip up
Defender
for
at
the
Large
effect.
did not get enough play. I think it was perfectly serviceable as far as five drops go.
Yeah, that card was nice, very good, very strong. Nothing here for him. So yeah, looking going into this last pack, I'd say he's kind of I think going to be valuing removal above almost anything here.
Yeah.
Well, at least I would be looking to, and you know, I'm a person that likes to be a bit more conservative with my deck building, so I'd be looking to shave off some of these off-color
Flashes.
cards. So does this tortoise actually do anything?
I think
No, right?
doesn't do that much, but probably enough to justify it over. I mean, Torch is here, which is nice.
What's
Jade
Jade
Seastones, I don't remember
Seastones?
that one being playable.
Distribute three counters for 4 mana. So it's
Eh.
just 4 mana for counters. He's looking at Hearth Elemental here, which again,
Hearth
every
Elemental
red
is
card
good.
taken. Yeah, it's a great card, but like I said before, every red card that gets taken makes the mana a little bit worse.
But he's also like not really doing spell stuff. Like I don't see too many instants or sorceries that are going to
Yeah,
discount that.
and it's bordering towards just being a three-color deck if he's taking that. Might just take the
Tortoise
tortoise. I mean, what does it do? It just whenever it enters battlefield attacks, so it ramps you. I mean,
grants you.
it's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Wow, that was a
Okay.
bomb, right?
Hello.
Is that the one where just on the
Yeah.
backside it just becomes
It just wins you the
a
game
a
basically.
land that whenever you tap it to cast a spell, you like make a XX or whatever?
Yeah, you
That
make one
type.
of the
Okay.
Karn guys.
Yeah, and it's yeah, okay. Good card.
It's,
Lots of words. It's good. Take it, play it, win games.
yeah, he also has like
Thank
incidental
you.
artifact stuff to tap with it.
There you go. Whenever you cast an artifact or creature spell using mana produced by it, create a. No, it's not even a card. It's equal to the number of creatures
Oh,
or
creatures and
artifacts.
artifacts.
It's
Oh my gosh.
like the bunny from WoW, the rare
Yeah.
bunny. Betrayal at the Vault, I think, is kind of what he's looking for here.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit hard to do that. Like Betrayal of the Vault was really good with the plot cards because you could play the plot card and then like do Betrayal. But
Yep.
if you're not able to like guarantee that your 6-drop removal spell goes off, it can be a potential liability.
Yeah, I still think it's kind of needed.
I think it's a big here though for sure. Maybe like
Yeah,
over Mercy.
nothing else here is looking too strong.
Ooh,
What do we got here? The
I
Shrouded
mean,
Shepherd is okay, but I'm looking at Gardener, but
yeah, I don't think we need to get cute at this point. Like, yeah, maybe like the Shepherd can high roll really well, but the Gardener will always
yeah,
do that.
it's a nice beatdown card, but the Nervous Gardener will always get you a
Yeah,
little bit of something.
never do you wrong.
And it will. I don't think he has any non-basics with types. I don't think we have any in this.
Whoa, 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 what did we pick there? Did we pick
What happened?
Journey?
Did he did he run out of time accidentally? I'm not
No,
sure.
I think he was like, I want this card.
Okay.
I don't even
Looking
remember
at
what it does.
Extraordinary Journey, I mean, maybe just take it out of the draft. Maybe he's afraid to play against it. Not sure there. Looking
Hmm.
now at Snakeskin Veil, but I just kind of want the Arynx. I know Snakeskin Veil is great, but I kind of want the 2-drop.
I like looking at the text of this rare extraordinary
It's
journey.
like exile stuff, and they can get cast later.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm hate drafting
And
that
whenever
deck.
somebody casts something from exile, you draw a card. I think it's something like this. We got Curse of the
Yeah,
Werefox here as a removal.
Curse of the Werefox.
Yeah, it's a 3 mana fight.
Yeah,
You
right.
get a you get a you get a trample token, whichever the monster roll. Yeah,
Oh, got a little disconnect. False alarm.
yeah. I think a lot of these picks, I think I just prefer 2-drops. Like even looking at his 2-drop creature slot, he has Dog Walker and Nervous Gardener in there, which are not really 2-drops.
No,
They're three
none are.
drops. So
Insidious Roots.
Insidious Roots holds a special part, has a special place in my heart. It's just a card I will
Yeah.
always take and always lose.
It
I just like take it, build around it, always lose.
was a really fun deck to be able to
To
enable if
dog
you ever got
walkers
to
usually.
draft. Yeah.
Yeah, opponents are like,
Oh,
yeah, opponents are like, yeah, you can have fun with that. I'll just play dog walkers and inside sources and kill you.
run you over. Yeah, I really like Glutton here.
Yep, very good.
Nice
And
like.
his deck is set up to make use of it.
Oh, and the Elemental Wheeling is no, yeah, it's a wheel. It's very interesting.
Yeah, that card was very strong.
I can't imagine there's not like a player in red that doesn't want that.
Yeah, even like the aggro decks, it's like you get to refill your hand later.
Yeah. I mean, we're passing it along too, it seems. Nothing really exciting here. Watchdog potentially good. This one doesn't require Watchdog to attack, right?
Nope. You could just play it and get the effect immediately.
Get the anthem immediately. Hmm.
Taken like in the presence of ages, I think that's probably more for the self mill decks, but
Yeah.
right, Brave of the Wilds is a fixer that has a utility like you.
Yeah, I guess
Uh,
there are a lot of good strong cards in this deck. I'm just maybe not sold on what like the game plan is or what the deck's identity is.
yeah, I think he took a few off color cards here just for power reasons, perhaps. And I mean, the Witchtalker Frenzies I think are actually going to be needed just
Yeah,
for the lack of removal. And he is set up to fix for red more than the other colors. So we'll see. Again, we'll follow him into the first round, so we'll see exactly how his deck turns up. And he got the Insidious Roots after all. So
excellent. The
what a
dream is alive.
what a fun time. All right, so very cool. Very cool. I won't say cube, but set here that they drafted. Very a lot of fun cards, bringing back memories from the past year, and that is Keelan's draft. So we'll be back to see what he came up with in round one, and very shortly we'll be looking at the pools to see what everybody else drafted.
Excellent.